What's up guys, Big Joe here, and today's video is how to start building arms. So this is a good video for beginners, things I wish I would have known or things that I wish people would have told me when I was starting to train. And so these are just some tips and some exercises that I find highly valuable, especially to if you are a beginner and if you're just starting off, all right? So stay tuned if you're interested. So 3 things to focus on, especially if you're a beginner. Number 1 is your form, all right? So you shouldn't be adding weight at all until your form is good. So if you start to feel like yourself breaking down in form, the weight's a little bit too aggressive, and you should scale back. Number 2 is your repetitions. So
1002.
You want to be repeating good repetitions, just because those patterns that you start creating, especially as a beginner, are going to be bleeding into your years of experience, okay? So you want to set a good foundation of good repetitions and good practice. Thirdly is the weight.
Wait, baby!
All right? So once your form and your repetitions are good, only then you should start adding that component of weights. So practice, good form, good repetitions, and then that's when you're going to be adding your intensity or the weight. So I'm going to give you 3 bicep exercises that you guys should be doing as a beginner and 3 tricep exercises you guys should be doing as a beginner. So number 1, we're going to start with biceps. So in my opinion, the king of all bicep exercises is the chin-up. You should be able to master pulling your own body weight before you start adding any external load. So some good markers or some benchmarks to be shooting for are something like 3 sets of 3 repetitions at body weight, then something like 3 sets of 5 repetitions at body weight, and then finally the gold standard of something like 3 sets of 10. Obviously there's all those in-betweens, but just some markers to hit for in the beginning. This is an important exercise to do just because you should be able to be lifting yourself. And secondly, this exercise is going to have a great contraction on that bicep. Thirdly, you're going to be, the translation from the chin-ups to literally every other exercise that you do in the gym is going to be a great benefit to you, okay? So chin-up, just hands outside your shoulders. From here, you're going to have a dead hang, and we're going to bring your elbows back, and then chin towards the bar, and then back away. Elbows drive back, chin up above the bar, then back down. So assuming that you are a beginner, something even as simple as a bodyweight chin-up could be great difficulty or something that you may not have just yet.
Wow.
So a good modification to that is a bodyweight row. So you should be able to perform 3 sets of good 10 repetitions with about a minute to 90-second break to develop that strength for the actual chin up there, okay? You can dictate how difficult the bodyweight row is for you guys just by adjusting the height. So the lower the bar this is going to be, the more difficult it's going to be, and the higher you position the bar, the easier it's going to be. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult here too, you could also elevate your feet, and that'll make it a little bit more difficult, okay? So once again, this is a good substitution or a good bridge to helping you guys get into or getting your actual chin-ups there, okay? So with this bodyweight row, set yourself up with your hands just outside your body. Keep your hips up nice and tight. And we're gonna pull just below your chest and back down. Remember, just if we're starting off, a good marker to shoot for is something like 3 sets of 10 reps there. Next exercise you should be mastering is...
Heck, what's your secret? What? Your secret workout?
Just the basic barbell curl. So this is a great exercise just to develop the strength in your biceps. So hands are going to be just placed outside of yourself. From here, your knees are going to be slightly bent, and we're going to bring the bar up towards your chest, squeeze your bicep there at the bottom, and then back down. So similar to the chin-up standard, you should have 3 sets of 10 repetitions with just the empty bar before you start adding any weight onto the actual bar. So just remember what we were talking about. So you should have good form, your reps should all look the same, and then you only add the weight component to the actual exercise. So once again, you're shooting for 3 sets of 10 reps. If the bar is too heavy for you, you could always exchange it. There's lighter bars, there's easy bars. There's ladies bars, which are at 35 pounds, so you can always scale back the barbell weight. Remember, we were looking for 3 sets of 10 reps with about a minute to 90-second break in between each one of those. The last exercise in our beginner's arm routine would be an alternating single arm dumbbell curl. So why this exercise is important is just to individualize each arm. So it's easy with bar work or chin-up work for your weaker or non-dominant hand to take over. So this way, you're feeling the exercise in each individual arm. So standing single arm dumbbell curl, shoulders are going to be retracted back, slight bend in those knees, and we're going to bring that weight up, turn it towards yourself, and control it down. On the way down, it's also important, guys, that you guys are locking out your elbow completely. A good way to do that is just flex your tricep down at the bottom, come up, and back down. 3 sets of 10 reps per arm, or 20 total reps. Same standard as we've been applying with every other exercise. Good form, good repetitions, and then only adding the weight on top of that. So switching over, now we're gonna go over some tricep basics that you should master in your beginner's program. The king of all tricep exercises is the dip. Similar to the chin-up, a lot of what your muscles are gonna be learning or that your body's gonna be experiencing is gonna translate well over into literally every exercise that involves pressing for you, okay? So once again, the benefit with this exercise is not solely just your tricep development, but a lot of the muscle groups that are gonna be, you're gonna be using in different other exercises there as well, okay? So with your dip, I'm gonna be setting up here just on some boxes. Obviously there's other attachments you guys could use at the gym, but basic goal, similar to our chin-up, is something like 3 sets of 10 reps with about a minute to 90-second break in between each one of those. So basic dip position, you're gonna have your feet set back behind you. We're gonna dip down, elbows go back behind you, and we press up. Dropping just below that 90 degree, and then back up. Similar to the chin-up, it may be pretty aggressive for you just to start with body weight dips. So a good substitution for those would be some box dips or chair dips, bench dips, anything that you may have at the gym or at home. So a good standard with these would be something like 3 sets of 5 first, 3 sets of 8, and then eventually building yourself up to 3 sets of 10, and then progressing to those dips and similar benchmarks as with your chin-up, doing something like 3 sets of 3, 3 sets of 5, eventually getting up to that 3 sets of 10, okay? So with the box dip, the lower the box is gonna be, the easier the exercise is gonna be. So as you advance through this, another way you guys can challenge yourself is just by flipping up to a higher setting or hiring up the bench or elevating your feet. So those are all ways that you guys can make it a little bit more difficult. But basic form here is your elbows are gonna be coming down. You're gonna slide your back just alongside the box, come up and dip yourself out. So the second tricep exercise that I'm going to recommend is a close grip bench. So similar to the dip, this has a lot of translation over to a lot of different pressing movements that you guys are going to be doing in the gym. So it's also a great way to develop strength and mass onto those triceps, especially in the beginning. So this is definitely an exercise you guys want to be focusing on and sticking with our team. 3 sets, 10 repetitions. All the reps should look the same. Your form shouldn't break down. Basic form here is your hands are going to be inside your shoulders. You're going to try to keep those elbows in as close as you can towards your body. Your chest and your delts are going to be working a bit here, but we're trying to focus as much as we can on those triceps. So setting up in the bench, hands inside those shoulders, lowering down, touch your chest down, come up, and squeeze up. Last exercise in our beginner arm routine is going to be a skull crusher. So I like this exercise just because it teaches beginners especially the function of the triceps. So if you can control that descending and that pressing motion, that translates well into every single other tricep exercise you guys may be doing. So push downs, single arm extensions. So it's a great way to just teach yourself controlling, contracting those triceps, extending and controlling that downward position, okay? So with the skull crusher, we're gonna focus on keeping those elbows in, lowering the weight right towards our forehead, and then extending back out. Form, reps, and then weight. 3 sets, 10 reps, about a minute to minute and a half breaks in between each one of these. Laying down on the bench, hands are gonna be in a close grip position. So I like to grab it even a little bit closer than what we were just doing for that close grip bench. Lower down, and extend up. All right, guys, there you guys go. So that's a great beginner's arm routine for you guys. Remember, our 3 golden rules is form, repetition, and then only adding the weight to each one of those exercises. Shooting for 3 sets of 10 good repetitions across the board for each one of those exercises. Especially if you're starting off, my suggestion is bounce between the 2 muscle groups, going biceps, then triceps. That way your arms get a little bit of break in between, especially if you're starting off. So let me know how you guys like this. Like, comment, subscribe, and until the next time, see you later.